Have you ever felt like you were in the zone? Have you ever experienced runner's high? Have you ever been so absorbed in an activity that for a moment, you lost all sense of where you were in space and time? In these moments, you felt a heightened sense of creativity, focus, and connectedness. If you've ever had a moment like this, congratulations, you've experienced flow. In this video, we'll look at what's going on in the brain during flow and how we can use it to optimize our physical and mental performance. Some indicators of flow include a decrease in activity in areas of the prefrontal cortex and an increase in activity in the parietal lobe. From a neurotransmitter perspective, we see an increase in the neurotransmitters dopamine, endorphins, endocannabinoids, serotonin, and norepinephrine. These neurochemical changes cause an increase in performance, an increase in lateral thinking capabilities, an increase in pattern recognition, and an increase in memory and learning. Put simply, achieving flow is all about balance. If you want to experience flow, your skill has to be sufficient to meet the challenge in front of you. A beginner pianist who tries to play Chopin likely won't be able to get into flow because the challenge vastly exceeds their current skill level. On the flip side, someone who has been playing piano for years probably won't get into flow if they're just playing Happy Birthday. Flow requires tapping into an existing set of skills and using those skills in a way that doesn't trigger boredom, but also doesn't trigger anxiety. Rather, the experience should rest somewhere in between. It's easiest to get into flow when your body has its basic needs met first. This means proper sleep, proper nutrition, some moderate exercise, and low levels of stress. And this is because flow is actually very neurologically taxing. According to Harvard researcher Herbert Benson, because of the brain's limitations with conscious and unconscious processing, there's what's known as the flow cycle. The steps in the cycle are as follows: struggle, release, flow, recover. These 4 steps are crucial not just for achieving flow, but also for allowing us to regroup and restore neurochemical balance after flow is over, since it often involves such a large neurotransmitter dump. The reality is we simply can't be in flow all the time, but we can optimize the process of achieving flow so that we can maintain high levels of learning and memory and low levels of stress. Going back to this graphic, we also see that each step of the flow cycle is marked by specific neurotransmitters and brainwave activity. In the struggle stage, the brain is operating in a state of heightened stress, with beta as the dominant frequency and cortisol and norepinephrine as the dominant transmitters. This makes sense because if you've just immersed yourself in a brand new activity, you're probably very overwhelmed with all the details. For example, if you're playing a difficult piece of music for the first time, it can be hard to relax because there's so much novelty in front of you. And this is where step 2 comes in. By stepping away from the activity in the release stage, we actually improve our working memory and learning through something called the Zeigarnik effect. Numerous studies have shown that an activity is better recalled when it's interrupted, so it's crucial to take this time to really step away. This stage is also marked by an increase in alpha brainwaves and circulating levels of nitric oxide, which allow the blood vessels to dilate. As you relax and step away from the activity, more blood is flowing to the brain and cognition improves. The third stage is the flow state, and this is where you return to the activity after the release period. By now, brainwaves will have downregulated into the theta stage, which is the same wavelength that we see with people who are in deep meditation, deep relaxation, or the moments just before deep sleep. This is where you can be at your most creative because you're no longer focused on constraints. There's also an increase in endorphins, dopamine, and anandamide, which all contribute to the sense of reward and pleasure that we get when we're totally absorbed in the present moment. This is where the magic happens. You might completely lose track of time or your normal sense of self as action and awareness become intertwined with one another. Finally, there's recovery. After the intensity of flow and all the stages preceding it, the brain is in need of a recharge. This could come in the form of deep breathing, yoga poses, meditation, or deep sleep. This final stage is marked by an increase in restorative delta brainwaves and the feel-good hormones serotonin and oxytocin. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more strategies on optimizing your mind, body, and spirit. And for more information on flow, be sure to check out the resources in the description. And until next time, happy hacking.